Good morning, everyone. Dan Bates, President and CEO, Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. We're glad you could join us this morning for Coffee and Conversations. This morning, you're going to hear from Christy Wesselman from Listening Heart, and she is going to be talking about navigating stress. One of the tools she uses is a Labyrinth, so she will explain all that in her presentation. We are on Zoom, so I'm sure Christy will not mind if you interrupt her to ask questions.
Where's the volume at?
If you are on Facebook Live, type your questions in and Laura will get them answered for you. So we're going to go around and do a very brief introduction so we know who all is on the Zoom this morning. So I guess I'm turning it over to Tiffany for introductions.
Good morning, everyone. We will start with John Rhodes.
Good morning. I'm John Rhodes. I'm the owner of Rhodes Life Coaching here in Hamilton. This is actually my first Hamilton Chamber event. I do one-on-one coaching around whole person growth and development.
Thank you for being here. Patrick Wright.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Fantastic. My name is Patrick Wright. I am with Serve Pro. We do property damage restoration. If there's anything anyone needs, just reach out to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Bill.
Good morning. I'm Bill with One Stop Pest Control. We kill for a living. So anything that bugs you, we can take care of it, from bed bugs, ants, termites, commercial properties, that type of stuff.
That's awesome. Angie.
Angie's having difficulties, but I'm with One Stop Pest Control as well.
Thank you guys for being with us. Shelley.
Hi, I'm actually joining from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. I just saw a note about this talk and it sounded interesting. And I'm a spiritual director and do expressive arts therapy and use tools like the Labyrinth for working. So,
Shelley, we're glad you're joining us today. You're definitely our most far away participant.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I think I win for that. Thanks.
Yeah. Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy Keitel of Keitel Business Coaching, and I'm a strategist. If you need more cash in your pocket, I'm someone to contact. I'm Cindy Keitel with Keitel Business Coaching.
Great. I think Nancy took her call. Laura?
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Merrill with the Greater Hamilton Chamber. Glad to have you all with us today.
All right. And Jason?
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Michael Miller, Director of Membership and Engagement for the Greater Hamilton Chamber, and I'm also repping the Listening Heart hat.
Great. All right, and we'll turn it back over to Christy.
And before you start, Christy, I just want to let everybody know this will also be on our YouTube channel. So if you want to refer back to this or share it or whatever, it'll be on our YouTube later today. Christy, it's all yours.
I guess I better put on audio. Well, thank you so much. I want to say special thanks to the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, to Nancy and Tiffany and Laura and Dan and Jason for this invitation. My name is Christy Wesselman of Listening Heart, and listening is my superpower. Now, about 10 years ago, I encountered some difficulties in my own personal life with stress, trauma, illness, job loss. My mother had passed away, and I discovered this tool, the Labyrinth, as a way to deal with the stress, to deal with the difficult emotions, and to begin that healing process, which is ongoing. My purpose today is to share this transformational process with all of you. And this is an invitation that's meant to empower you to navigate and manage stress and difficult emotions and to go deeper into the center. All right.
And while Christy is setting that up, I wanted to let everyone know that she is going to be sending a Labyrinth tool to us that we can send out to everyone that is attending today. And Christy, if you need any assistance as well, let us know, okay?
Yes, thank you. I apologize that I was muted there. Needed to and bear with me. I'm struggling with getting over a head cold, so I may need to mute from time to time to get a sip of water or tea. And hopefully you will see that as an invitation then to participate and ask questions and just to center in and let yourself fully arrive in this space today. In a fast-paced world of business, organizational leadership, and even our personal lives, stress is inevitable, but how we manage it can make the difference. You're invited to explore this innovative approach to stress management called the Labyrinth. This ancient yet highly effective tool offers a path to clarity, focus, and well-being, providing a very unique opportunity for individuals to center themselves amidst the pressure of daily professional life. Whether used for personal reflection, team building, or boosting creativity, the Labyrinth serves as a metaphorical journey, leading you to insights that can reduce burnout, improve decision-making, and enhance overall productivity, among other benefits. This simple yet profound practice can foster resilience, strengthen leadership qualities, and support mental well-being. I invite you today to empower yourself and your team with the skills needed to navigate both internal and external stressors, while fostering a stronger, more cohesive culture and business environment. I invite you today to discover how the Labyrinth can transform your approach to stress and create meaningful change in your career and community. James Clear is a Hamilton boy. He's the author of a best-selling book called Atomic Habits. And if you haven't had a chance to skim it or read it, I highly recommend it. I'm not going to read quotes to you because I'm assuming you all can read. Maybe as I just ask you to take a moment, read that to yourself, and notice if there are any words or ideas that stand out for you. For me, the movement, the dealing with stress and moving is walking a labyrinth. Imagine a tool or a process that would combine movement, meditation, mindfulness, breath work, gratitude, surrender, and when engaged in groups, provides community connection. You would like to have access to such a tool, wouldn't you? So here's our plan for today. We're going to we'll have to have a working definition of stress. We'll look at kinds, top stressors, and prevention and management. That in itself could be an entire workshop. Then I'm going to talk about what is a labyrinth. I'm going to share with you a short video from the Today Show. We'll look at tips for experiencing a labyrinth. I will put on the screen a labyrinth pattern, and invite you to take a few minutes to either trace with your finger or follow it with your eyes, and invite you to experience the calming aspect of the Labyrinth just for a few minutes. And then I'll take question and answer. Again, I don't want to read slides to you. Is there, would anyone feel comfortable? Would they want to read for the class? Maybe I shouldn't do that, but.
I can read this first one. So,
Okay.
What is stress? Stress is a natural human response to difficult situations, causing mental tension and physical reactions. It prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives.
Thank you.
Do you want me to read the second one?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Stress is any type of change that causes physical, emotional, or mental strain. So stress is in your body. It's your body's response to anything that requires attention or action. Everyone experiences stress. It keeps us motivated, alert, and ready to avoid danger.
Thank you, Jason. So to protect our brains, according to science, it's necessary to balance intense focus with idleness. However, in our fast-paced world where every spare moment is filled with checking phones, the reset is often neglected. This constant stimulation trains our brains to crave busyness, making it harder to disconnect. To prevent overload, we need to hit the reset button, which means carving space in your day for lying around, meditating, or staring off into nothing. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He would know about staring off into space, I believe. So different kinds of stress. Acute stress is that short-term stress that comes and goes quickly, like might be a traffic accident, an argument, studying for a test, preparing for a presentation. Episodic acute stress. This is a regular experience of acute stress. This is ongoing. It's recurring. It can be an illness. It can be ongoing domestic violence, child abuse, living in conflict and war, experiencing trauma, natural traumas, natural disasters, being unhoused, losing a job. Chronic stress is long-term stress that persists for weeks or months, and it seems like it will never, ever end. Could be an extremely taxing job, marital issues, financial problems. Chronic stress can also be seen in certain professions, such as healthcare, first responders, air traffic controllers, and anyone who experiences vicarious trauma, such as social workers, mental health workers, and so forth. It's important to address and manage chronic stress because it can lead to major health issues. I'm going to ask the question, how do you know when you are experiencing stress? How do you know when you're stressed? And you can either write it in the chat, or somebody will check Facebook to see if there's any responses on Facebook. And just give a minute here to talk about how you know when you are stressed.
Christy, I don't know if you can see any of the chats in Zoom, but I know I can feel stressed or triggered when I'm experiencing shortness of breath, trying to regulate my breathing. Shelly online said that their body tells them tension in muscles, sore stomach, twitches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. John Rhodes said, for me, I know I am stressed when my muscles are tight, jaw clenched, exactly, holding my breath, and which is probably why I feel shortness of breath, because I'm holding my breath. Yeah. Anyone else? I think that is it for the Zoom.
Okay, those are all things to pay attention to. It's your body. I get grumpy. Somebody said they get grumpy. It's your body telling you, hey, something's awry, something's out of alignment, something's out of balance. I'm going to share another slide. It's a little difficult to read, and if anyone would like the graphic on it, excuse me, just a minute here. The stress impacts the body, the mind, the emotions, and behaviors. Depending on what kind of stress that you have, that immediate acute stress, but if it's something that's ongoing and you notice, you're smoking too much, you're not sleeping, you're drinking more, somebody said they get grumpy, fussy, inability, alienation, depression, all of these things are flags to pay attention to. When you're experiencing stress, you're like, oh, what's going on with me? Oh, I might be stressed. Okay. Here are some of the 5 top stressors. I looked at a number of different resources on this. You can actually, there's a link in this file that I can make sure everyone has. It is, it's a little 10-question inventory to find out how stressed you are from BeMindfulOnline.com. But the 5 top stressors: death of someone, death of a loved one, divorce or separation, a major illness or injury, sometimes multiple surgeries, job loss, financial issues, and any kind of trauma, whether you're a victim of a crime or natural disaster. And sometimes seeing that too can also be a stressor for folks. I would say that number 6, I say that change can be stressful. Even if it's good change, there's still a change and it's unknown and it can be stressful. And again, it's how you navigate that, how you manage that. Here's some interesting statistics or some interesting information about stress in the workforce. And I took this from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce website. Currently, there are 8 million job openings. 6.8 million people are unemployed. So even if everyone got employed, found a job and had a job, there's still a shortage of over 1 million workers. What I understand is that's not something that's expected to change. So stress and burnout is a very real thing. And you have staff turnover, and it impacts your bottom line. Think of how much it takes, how many resources it takes, how much resources that it takes to onboard a new employee, to train them, background checks, whatever all needs to be done, that impacts your bottom line. So there's a long-term impact of an organizational future if stress is something and burnout isn't something that's managed. So organizations need to be mindful of what employees need and what they want. So a recent APA survey, actually from 2023, between 92 and 95% of workers say that they want organizations that support employee mental health, make them feel respected, respect work-life boundaries, and value their emotional and psychological well-being in the workplace. The data shows that 4 in 10 workers say their work is negatively impacting their mental health, and fewer than 1 in 4 believe that their organization cares about their mental well-being. So how do we balance and reduce stress? Meditate, practice mindfulness, Tai Chi, slow movements, slow walking. What do you do to help you balance your stress? You know, you're feeling it. It's hard to breathe. What kinds of things do you engage in to bring you back to center? And I'll give folks a few minutes to either respond on Facebook or on in the chat. Let's see. Breathing techniques, walk, talking things out, creativity, making art, music, playing and walking with my dogs.
Laura,
Yeah.
Laura
Go
said,
ahead. Go ahead, Jason.
Yes.
yeah. Laura said gym time, I think.
I think that might not have been me.
Yeah, that was me.
Cindy Keidel says sleep and exercise.
Anyone else? Regular exercise, bike riding, jogging, meditation, weight bag in the basement that gets abused on a regular basis. That's always good. Yeah. John, I share that. I have a heavy bag out in my just outside my office here. Yes, a Harley ride. Thank you, Dan. Music, hobbies, and rest. Thank you, Bill. Spend time with the grandkids to re-energize. Thanks, Mike. Mike, that can also be stressful, can it? Just a little bit. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And imagine, I'm going to go back. Imagine a tool or process that combines meditation, mindfulness, breath work, physical activity, gratitude practice, acceptance, and when engaged in groups, combines a community connection. It provides for that community connection. Imagine, if you will. That process is a labyrinth. Now, what is a labyrinth? I know you're waiting with bated breath. Well, what is this thing that you keep talking about? It's a very simple pattern, I guess is the right word. It has one path from the outer edge into the center, and it's designed to help you find your way. The picture that you see is the labyrinth that my husband and I built in our backyard in 2020. To show you this clip from the Today Show.
Greater Hamilton Chamber.
5 words you pronounce wrong. 2 years before your brain starts shutting down. Dementia is now known.
Sorry about that.
An hour north of Phoenix,
No, it's not. This is the Chamber of
where the
Commerce.
saguaro cactus are abundant, is the town of Carefree. It sounds like a place you'd go to check out for a while. Or maybe check in.
Can everybody hear that okay? Okay.
With yourself. What's this thing?
This. Is there supposed to be video or are we just listening?
Of how to come back to one's center.
A labyrinth, explains Veronica Lynn Clark, at the Savannah Wellness Resort.
It looks complex, just like mindfulness and all these other things, but it's a very simple pathway to the center.
A destination often not easy to access.
What if you're afraid of the center? What if you like, I don't know, the center's got a lot of stuff going on in there. I just as soon leave that door closed.
People are afraid of it.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not everybody's going to want to go right to the center. There's a lot of stuff there.
Wellness buzzwords, or is there a there here in the desert? Clark describes it as a kind of walking meditation.
Which can be so much more gratifying even for someone who feels frustrated because they can't sit and meditate. So this is a very simple way to meditate.
Labyrinths, or something like them, have been around for 4,000 years. The modern labyrinth movement started at San Francisco's Grace Cathedral in the 1990s.
I was at the end of my rope, so to speak, with the AIDS crisis, and I was just burnt out.
After careful study and prayer, the Reverend Dr. Lauren Artris thought walking a labyrinth could soothe a troubled soul.
This pattern, if you can allow yourself to just drop in, then you get in touch with this whole other level.
We tried it there in that sacred space. Maybe you don't quite get it the first time. It was different in Arizona.
Part of that is the relaxing. Part of it is just letting go. This is such a beautiful way for people to practice that.
The internal noise, often static, dissonant voices within began to quiet.
The longer we're out here, the more I wanted to slow down.
A lot of times people will confuse a labyrinth with a maze. The maze is intended to create some confusion. But this labyrinth, if you stay on the path, you're not going to get lost.
It's a metaphor, a journey.
What do you think the labyrinth might be a pathway to?
Inner peace.
Since Lauren Artris brought the labyrinth to Grace Cathedral, thousands more have been built across the country. Many at churches, including at the Presbyterian Church on the Green in Bloomfield, New Jersey. Pastor Ruth Bowling and her husband Carlos built a full labyrinth during the pandemic. This brought them and the community here a path to healing.
Every experience is different. Every time I walk the labyrinth, it's a different experience for me, but it's always good.
It's not that the labyrinth in and of itself created this experience. You allowed yourself to have the experience by walking through. You can still walk mindfully, peacefully, and still experience the peace inside of you.
So it's portable.
Yes.
Hey, she's a great teacher, Brian. Clark, I mean, superstar. This book written by Miss Artris from the Grace Cathedral, so interesting. And honestly, you kind of do a little homework first. You've been on a labyrinth.
I've been on.
Hey. I'm going to open it up for any kind of comments, reflections, questions. I do want to give you an opportunity to walk a labyrinth.
An observation that I had learned just now about the labyrinth is I thought it was a maze, and so it was nice that they kind of broke down the difference of a maze is to confuse you, and the labyrinth is, you know, there is no obstacle. It's just focusing on the moving forward. So.
Yeah. You know, oftentimes people think of the labyrinth, they either think of Daedalus and the Minotaur, well, from ancient Greek ancient Greek myths, or they'll think of the David Bowie movie. And you know, it's so much deeper and so much richer than that. This 4,000-year-old pattern. So would you like to just at least experience one. Or I can take a few other questions and then we can.
They're ready to go, Christy.
Okay, they're ready to go. All right.
They're
Thank
being
you.
awfully quiet today. They got a question, you can always pop up and ask Christy while we're in process here.
So the next slide I'll show you is a sample of a classical labyrinth. And I'm going to invite you to either trace it on your computer screen with your finger or follow it with your eyes. Follow that path into the center and back out. Remember the 4 R's. As you cross that threshold and you enter into that space, let go. Focus on your breathing. Slow your breathing down. Breathe in and out. In through your nose and out through your mouth. When you get to the center, receive and be open to what you need today, what you seek. Return by the same path and reflect on that experience. Bring it into your life. Be grateful. Relax. And then the 4th R is remember and keep the experience close to your heart. Again, remember the 4 R's: release, receive, return, remember. There's no set time for how long it takes to walk a labyrinth, since each one is unique. Parameters here is I'm going to allow 5 minutes. Your experience may be longer. You may want to stay in the center a little bit longer. You can always revisit the labyrinth. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and I'm going to invite you all to experience this labyrinth. So as you begin, think about what you need today. Think about what you need to let go of, to set aside for the next 5 minutes. Begin with your eyes at the entrance or your finger on the screen and begin tracing the path. Remembering to breathe in and out, to let go, to release. have about a minute to conclude your experience. Was that for you? Do you want to share? It's a small enough group. You want to share raising your hand, or write in the chat, whatever you feel comfortable. John says it was calming. Yes. Proves focus. Thanks, Cindy. Jason said it was uncomfortable at times sitting in silence, but then I settled into the calmness and clarity. Yes, that often happens. We're used to the noise. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we're so used to the go, go, go and the hustle and bustle, and you have to fill every moment, which I think adds to the anxiety, and triggers of today. Just like sitting in meditation, we don't force ourselves and create that discipline or grace to sit in silence and stillness. And that was at first it was uncomfortable, and then once you kind of try to make it to that 5-minute mark, it's kind of like, okay, even if you're tracing or not, or just sitting, the act of funneling that focus was really, I'm in such a calm state right now.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. What else we got here? Kim, thank you, Kim. Very calming. Yeah. Any other thoughts, questions? I'll take questions now if you want to, or if you later, if you want to talk about the experience, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to chat some more. I know sometimes these forums are a little intimidating.
Christy, I was going to say I was visiting Focus on the Youth a few weeks ago. It was my first time visiting their facility in Westchester. And in the hallway, they had some activities for children to do while they're waiting to go into their session. And I noticed that they did have a labyrinth. I don't know if they call it a labyrinth, but they had a labyrinth on the wall for if there's a child that's not able to control their emotions or feeling too much emotion. They had that right there. I thought, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I kind of made that connection.
Yeah. There's some research that's been done of using labyrinths in educational settings to help with that regulation of emotions for kids, for those who struggle with attention and mental health and ADHD and so forth. So thank you for that. John.
I know that there used to be Louisville Theological Seminary used to have an outdoor full-size labyrinth on their campus. Are there any that we know of that are local?
Yes. I'm going to plug, first of all, if you're anywhere in the world, there is a resource called labyrinthlocator.com. Of course, there's a website, and if you're in any town, any city, you plug that in within 30 miles or whatever, and it'll tell you what labyrinths Thank you. Yeah, labyrinthlocator.com. I think it's .com. It may be .org. And I can tell you the ones that are in the Cincinnati area. There is one at Smale Park, across the street from the Moorline House in downtown Cincinnati, by the Blue Bridge, which is the suspension bridge. There's one in, I think, in either Eden Park or Alt Park. There is one at a place called the Centennial Barn in Roselawn. Roselawn. Those are the larger ones that I know. There's some that there's some up in Dayton. I'm forgetting the Jesuit Spiritual Center in Milford has one. It's actually along the river down there. You have to go down the hill and get to it. But there are there are those that are outdoor, and I have a 36-foot diameter canvas labyrinth that's available, and a 24-foot diameter vinyl one. It's a little bit different path, and hand labyrinths as well. The lady that was mentioned in that, Reverend Lauren Artris, founded an organization called veriditas.org. And that's how I became an advanced certified labyrinth facilitator, was through that organization. It's where I got my initial training, and have gone on and done some other requirements to become an advanced certified facilitator. Yeah, Shelley, there's some in Saskatchewan. Thanks for posting that, Jason, of the Smale Park. Anyone else? Any other questions? Perhaps this is something to use personally. Perhaps it's something to bring to your teams, your creative processes, your schools, your businesses. It works. And each time I experience a labyrinth, I either walk it or trace it. You can draw them, you can color them. There's all kinds of really neat things that can be done with them that taps into the energy and the experience. And then there's some science behind it too that that's for another presentation. But I'm happy to take questions.
Hey, Christy. So I've got one question. So if anyone has a need to contact you, what would that be?
You can find me at www.listening-heart.com. I'm on Instagram at listening_heart. I'm on Facebook at Listening Heart. You can find me on LinkedIn, Christy Wesselman. And then I can provide, you can contact me through my website. If you want to email me, I believe I'm on the email that was sent out with the Zoom link. So my email is in there rather than putting that out on Zoom and YouTube forever. So those are ways to contact me. And I offer free consultations, and I can do proposals and all those I've got a few things that I'm working on right now. I'm very excited about and looking forward to working with some organizations and businesses in Greater Hamilton.
Awesome. Christy, thank you so much. For our coffee and conversations, we always offer an array of topics in multiple industries. So you whenever you tune in, you never know what you might find or what you might, take away, which is awesome. Christy, again, thank you so much. I can tell you put a lot of time into your presentation. So for those who would be interested in presenting at a Coffee and Conversation is a low-key, informal presentation or conversation that we do twice a month. It's a 35 to 40-minute presentation plus about a 10 to 15-minute Q&A or reflection. You can include visuals, video, storytelling, interactivity, anything to educate and inform audiences. Again, ranging on topics that showcase you as the expert or educator. So not really a sales pitch, but just a way to inform and educate people. If you would like to request an industry roundtable or a workshop series, you can reach out to us, Jason at hamilton-ohio.com, and we can get you connected. I wanted to let you know of some more opportunities to get connected with the Chamber. At the end of January 31st, we have the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce's annual meeting, which is going to be held at Spooky Nook in Hamilton, Ohio. You don't want to miss that because that's going to do a little bit of a recap of the year and a future focus. We also have in February 1st, we have Black History Month Gala fundraiser for Juneteenth. February 7th, we have the Chamber's Groundhog Economic Forecast Breakfast, which should be really fun. February 11th, we have another Coffee and Conversation with Dee Henry of the Independence Alliance, talking about accessibility and inclusion of workers with disabilities in the workforce. We also have a Mix It Up happy hour event at Serve City on February 13th. And then we also have a networking leads lunch at Rib City in Hamilton, February 18th. And then we also have a few more Coffee and Conversations coming up as well. If you would like to have all of this information, please check out our calendar on our website, which is hamilton-ohio.com. I think that's it. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We had a lot of people on this Zoom today. This is awesome. Thank you so much, and everyone have a great day.
Bye, everyone.